Hear me? No, you can't hear me. So you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Give me a shout out. Yeah, give me a big up. Somebody say something. Yeah? Okay. Aspiring. Yeah, man, I see that. Just a very special anniversary. Bless up yourself. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, blessings and blessings and blessing upon you this evening, this afternoon. This afternoon, we're about a little talk, I mean, a friendly talk, men sharing with men some ideas. And of course, we're going to look at some of the new issues that, facing this world, the new challenges that has led to certain activities that basically has brought some people in disrepute. Not that we are gloating, not that we want to gloat, but we want to look at and examine what would have caused persons to reach that stage in life. So we just want it to be good. I know the most topical thing right now is the slap that was heard across the world. Yeah. Um, Almost a billion people hear that slap. Yeah. And you would have thought that, at your highest peak, where you really want to be, which is the pinnacle of your career and your success. You would have thought that you would have wanted it to be so smooth and so good that a slap like that would never have occurred to at least bring you in disrepute. So you would have thought that we'd have done a different thing. Nevertheless, it was heard across the world, and quite I don't even know if it's like quite what. For some person it was unacceptable, to be quite frank. I am not sure why it was unacceptable because if you check it out, we have been doing violence for a long time. We have had, violent encounter for a very long time. Persons have been violent to us for a very long time, and therefore it's almost ingrained in our psyche. Some persons would rather see it a different way. I'm not sure why, but the fact of the matter is it's happened. Whether or not we're going to go forward with it, or whether or not we're going to examine why it happened, how it happened, what were the precursor to it happening, is another thing. And I think we should, because those things are very, very, very important to us, and particularly to the mental health that we have been talking about in recent times. You know, um, So I just want to do I just want to do that. Yeah, I just want to make that be part of the main subject area. And then as men, I want us to also have an appreciation for what is it that we want to do next. As a part of this process, one of the things that we want to do is some projects where men can come together and say, this was done by men of the cave. Yes, and that is to help some people to have a better life. You know what I mean? We're going to be men and we're taking care of the family, but we also take care of community, and therefore that will also be a part of the discussion. We want to know how we're going to proceed forward, what is that we're going to do, how we can come together, how we're going to move each other to that space if we're going to decide what we're going to do. So all of that is a part and parcel of the things that we want to do. But welcome again to the Man Cave, and of course we're looking at a number of things happening. There's a number of things that we want to just kind of get into and not just get out of the way. And we have to look specifically at ourselves, our brothers, and we want to hear from them. So today we have a number of persons, three young men, well, not so young men, my colleagues, my friends, who will be on just to share in a brief moment, their own thoughts about the man cave, to see whether it's productive, to see whether it is living up to its expectations and so on. Whether or not the topics that we have been discussing have been worthwhile and beneficial to them. So all of that is going to be part and parcel of our going forward. And therefore, we just want to, let's open it up to that kind of interaction today. Um, Again, we don't know everything. We don't purport to know everything. And therefore, we have the conversations with each other to ensure that at the end of the day, we know exactly what's going on and exactly how to proceed. And if a brother knows more than us, then we can work through the process. Yes? Not work, we can work through the process. So that's part of the thing that we're going to do going forward. All right. We would have sent we Okay, we'd have sent a link to our brothers. We sent a link to our brothers who will be on. Um, and I said use that link for today. So we want to use that link for today so we can have the conversation. I understand that sometimes the background is kind of not conducive to that. So even a headshot, you know what I mean? Yeah. So we can work with it. So we can have a kind of conversation online. So we can work through that part. Um, as always, technical part kind of beating us up, not us, but beating us up. Yeah. So we're going to work through that situation even now. You know. Yes. So we're going to work through it and we're going to make it happen for us. Blessed love. I see one of our great man on the line. I see a great man on the line. That's a bona fide. That man and me go what both 40 years. I know. It's no fear when a man go back. Yeah, over years. So we just try to work through the process and we're going to make it happen. All right. We'll make it happen today. So quickly, we want to look at, and I have something that I want to share with you. Now, the topical issue today is the Will Smith versus nobody love what's his name slap. Like, pow, like we are box down kind of thing, Yeah, that kind of lick. And many persons were saying, boy, yeah, man, but defending woman and sitting and thing and all these things. Beg your pardon, sorry. Some would iterate that it was good, it was manly for him to be defending his woman in such a manner and so on and so forth. Others like myself think it's deeper than that because I don't think it was necessary. And to be quite frank, after we looked at just the issue, we realized, listen, the thing the thing go further than that. To be quite frank, I was trying to look at how I could analyze, just cursory analyze what would cause him to do that, because that has now jeopardized a number of things for him. Yes, I'm trying to find the document that I have put together. Let's just share. Um, and in my mind, I'm saying, boy, it's strange enough. I think that he lost it because he was trying to regain something. To be quite frank, that's how I see it. And in doing so, I think him kind of overreact to what was happening, and he did put his hand on the gentleman and he did put his foot in his mouth. And at the end of the day, I suggest to some people that, if it was another man, yeah, probably he would not have done it. Um, Probably might take a different approach. But the bottom line is he took the approach that he did. So let us analyze that. Now, one of the problems and one of the things that I saw coming out of all of this was this. Before the slap, Chris was doing this thing. Cause Chris is a comedian. Sometimes him canny, sometimes not canny. Sometimes he's very caustic, but the bottom line is that's part of his job. Will was smiling, enjoying the process. To be quite frank, the G.I. Jane comment was not to me an egregious comment. Yes? She didn't respond in the way that you think, she should have responded. But the bottom line is, it was not an egregious comment. You say, like, next G.I. Jane run, yeah, it fit it, kind of G.I. Jane chain right and stuff. So when Will reacted the way he reacted, I was a little bit taken because I think it was a stage. I think it's a stage thing. Because to be quiet from the way him go far around the corner to come slap the man, and the man still remains standing. And I said, well, that must be a baby slap, or like a girl a slap a man or something. Cause, if me box down a man, a box me I box him down. Worse if you know see me I come box him, I'm put in the full 100. Him jaw I go lick off and him head I go bounce off of the ground. Cause me I go slap him. You know what I mean? But it never seemed like such a great slap or a slap that carried much power or weight or authority in there. But when you look back at everything, you would have to analyze and suggest that there must have been some underlying thing there that caused him to do what he did out of the normal routine. I don't know. I don't know Will to be a man like that. So therefore, I think there must be something. Um, when I saw how the young lady react, um, I said, well, that might be a trigger. To be quite frank, I said I thought she just trigger him. And then I said, wow, look at that trigger. She's a trigger I'm getting. Yeah, I got click click, and it impacted negatively on how he responded. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, I believe that he acted in the way he did, not because he really wants to act in the way he did. I think his relationship is in trouble, and I think that he acted that way to save his relationship or to um, try to save the relationship. One of the things that is also interesting is what Jada said afterwards. She said, "No, the healing can begin." And then I asked myself the question: why the healing could not begin before this? Yes, and then I had to go back. I had to go back and look at the kind of relationships that they entered into. The fact that it was an open relationship, and open relationships actually mean that you can have sex and relationship with anybody you feel like, but you're married to each other, right? Um, when I saw how Will acted when she basically came public and said she was in an entanglement, and the fact that him that try hold back the tears, but it really hurt him to the core. When I look back at the fact that him did do something similar, well, he never come public, but he had other relationships outside of the marriage. When I look at the fact that his son basically that go a different direction and wear girl clothes and all these things, and now they identify themselves as being gender fluid, that means it can become any gender at any time. And I said, this is the kind of new family configuration that many persons are pushing, many persons society pushing it in order to say this is the new acceptance of families. Families must be this kind of way. But then when I check it out, those kind of families seem to me to be very toxic. And I think Will Smith and Jada was a poster boy and girl for the new environment, this secular humanistic configuration, this transhuman kind of configuration of it's like a new world order. So they might change out all of the old order. So all of the old tenets that we have held fast to. Wife and husband, if you'll be faithful and keep it together and do what they do and and if any of them forgive each other and move on. No, we have no reconfigure the whole thing. We know have open relationship, you have all kind of relationship. You have to ask them what a question when you're in a relationship. Is it exclusive? Is it open? Is it closed? Is it this? What exclusive mean? Do we exclusively have when we are together, then we are exclusively together. But we do have other relationships outside. One magazine, which I think just basically is a perfect recipe for the kind of disaster that dear family is in right now. So I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear if the man them thinks that we'll just man up and do the thing. I want to hear if you think that something else caused this, because I am of the thought that something else caused this. And him trying to reconcile, him trying to save his marriage, but I don't think he went about it the right way. So we want to hear from the men. But before we go into all of that, we want to hear from, and we're going to talk to Philip first, because I know say him, him know say him just invite me, after you're down. So I don't have a drive. I don't have a drive down there because the thing so long. So we ask Philip, what do you think about the man cave? I want to know if we are doing the things that you find interesting, if we are doing the things that you can learn from, if we are doing the things that has bring some value to your information to you, where you can use and we can move it forward. So let's hear from our brother Sir Williams.
Uh, Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm assuming that we have both ladies and gentlemen online. It
Yeah,
has been a
and we have
while.
two Williams too. And we
We
have
have
two
two
Williams too.
Williams.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can go ahead
I
first,
was
bro.
gonna wait and I hear you say Williams, and I was gonna sort of drop back and wait for a Williams, but then I saw my picture
Yeah.
came up, so I figure it's me.
All right. I could do it first. No
But
problem.
like I said again, good evening to everyone. Yeah,
Evening.
I must said it publicly. Jeremy and invite me, and I came on earlier, but I realized that you guys hadn't started yet, so I went back to doing some other stuff, and I joined a little bit late, but nevertheless, I was able to catch um the crux of the matter, as they would say, and what we're discussing. And uh, I'm not sure I can add anything more to what has been said already, because you're 100% correct in everything that you have said with regards to that family and our work. Um, it has been well documented that that's the sort of relationship they're in. Um, it has also been well documented that there has been, you know, people coming forward saying that they have different sort of relationship with from either side as well. So it is nothing strange, but I wanna touch on a small topic that you had mentioned in your open monologue, and is the fact that we see even the kids now are being affected, and being affected in such a way that is negative in every sense of the word. 1 second, Sebastian. It's completely negative. All right, we have like our host said earlier, we have persons who are not sure what gender they want to be, and so they declare themselves non-binary. That's that's one of those things that now you can get legally in your passport in the states now. Um, and then you have unknown male dressing as female. Just weird stuff happening. It's like you can't wrap your head around all of this, and that is what Hollywood and our world. That is what not I wouldn't say social media, because listen, social media can be good or bad. It depends on how you use it. But that is what the movie industry and our world. That is what it sets up our kids to embrace. And so now it crept over into our school system here. Just weird things happening. But as to what he did, whether some people see it as defense of his wife or whatever the case might be, it was totally inappropriate. It was totally uncalled for, and more so, it to me, if I'm being honest with you, it's one trying to influence or offer or show some authority over someone who is older than he is, and wouldn't say more responsible, because it's the world that they're living in, but from a comedic standpoint, it was a joke. And it was even such a bad joke because the funny thing, I've seen that movie G.I. Jane, and it's a okay movie. It showed the strength of a woman and overcoming in our men's world, in our man world, and so it is not a bad reference. It might be untimely, but it wasn't a bad reference. And if you notice, he went ahead and he paid his respect first. So the way I look at it, not to be long-winded, but the way I look at it is, if you can't treat your kids, if you can't dictate, if you can't run your home where you have kids, hey, stop. If you can't run your home where you have kids, right? Then how can you go on the street and then dictate to someone else what to do or what to say? And also, most importantly in all of this is that they're both public figure. They're both in the eyes of the public. They both live them life in the public. They talk about their personal life in the public. So therefore, you open yourself to all sorts of criticism, whether you like it or not. And so it's just unfortunate what happened. And of course, going forward, we don't know what's gonna happen, but we will see. So that's my take on the whole situation. I'm sure there are other stuff I could say, but I'll give someone else a chance.
Yes, sir, Philip. I think you're mute. Yeah, yeah. So you need to
Y-
unmute
y-
so we can have a conversation.
yes, sir. Go ahead. I'm here. I
No,
was
not
just.
you. The other Philip.
Oh,
No, the
okay.
other Philip. Philip. Yeah, man. Yes, Victory.
No, can you hear me?
Yeah, me can hear you now.
All right. Good
But
afternoon,
before you
Man
start,
Cave.
let me make them know. This is my virgin for 1,000 year. Yeah,
Right?
and if I cook right now, I'm gonna go buy me a get some idea. So
Yeah,
well, go
man, you're
on,
always
Philip.
invited, man. Always. Good afternoon, Man Cave.
Yeah, man. Bless
Um,
up, bless up.
yeah, man, it has been inspiring for episodes so far. Um, been hearing words about it from the barber shop because I have two barbers. One that is a Sabbath man, so you can check him on Friday and Saturday. So if you want a trim, if it's not Thursday, you have to check him back Sunday. So you have to have an in-between barber man now who flexible if you really need a quick trim. But sitting in the barber chair with the people around, waiting on the barber, we have been hearing a lot about the man cave. I've been asking them how they hear about it. Friend telling a friend telling a friend. So people are joining, people are hearing, people are listening. And that's a good thing because right now we need to empower man and a whole. We can start in our yard, to the neighbors, to the community, to the world. As we have been discussing, men have been losing their sight of what their function really is in society, been losing the ability to cope mentally and otherwise. And we need the strength as men to continue to be men as men should be, right? So that's what has been discussing in the barbershops that I have been in and in the Henny Park and a whole where I reside. So that is a good thing for the man cave. We're holding strong, we're keeping our fingers crossed that it will grow from strength to strength, and I'm sure it will. On the other hand, regarding this slap, I think it's just theatrics. This man get the best actor award. Him just showing that he's the best actor. I'm not looking any further than that into this. Because as the host said, if it did get a slap, that was not a slap. That's a little brush up. You understand? So I would look much into this. But that is my take right now on the man cave. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. And you know, it's kind of heartwarming to hear that people are here with Man Cave. You know, the cave is getting around, but we need that. So we need that twin sister cave, you know. Like one cave not gonna work. We expand the cave. You know what I mean? But I'm happy that you know men are finding it interesting and that they can find some solution out of it. That's important. And you know, we'll continue to encourage you to share. You know, to share, to share, to share. It's very, very important. Because again, as I said, sometimes we don't know everything, but collectively we bring additional information to the table where people can learn. People can learn to deal with different issues and so on, and we are just a part of that process, which we will continue to be. Yeah. So it's very important. It's good to hear that. You know, a friend of mine, Sir Russell, who is not on right now, but I hope him listening because sometimes him do it from the YouTube side. You know what I'm saying to me? Him say, listen, him don't have no other blog like this or you know function program like this that basically tries to empower men at this level because we look at everything. We want to look at everything concerning men, mental health, men, physical health, you know, our sexual health, every spiritual health. We want to look at all of it together because that's what a whole man. If you want to be a whole person, you have to look at all of the parts. Yes, you can't just be physically well and spiritually unwell. And part of the reason why I use Will and Jada story, yes, is that I believe at the end of the day, they must come to understand that the relationship has become, if not was, always is toxic. Yes? And I tell you why I came to that position. I remember when the entanglement story came out. The fact that he did what he did prior to, and she knew and them work out them situation. When the entanglement thing come out, this is what she made a one statement, and the one statement she made me realize that something was just fundamentally off. She said, listen, she said if we the love her, I know so she not entanglement. Now anybody who is anybody will know that people have affairs, long affairs, yeah, long years upon years, and people don't find out. So when she say if you may love her, you may find out, that is total rubbish. And then she turned around and make it look like it was his fault why all of this happened. Now, to be quite frank, me as a man, if I make a mistake, make a man up to my mistake. Now, if it's anybody make a mistake, you know, so make a mistake. You know, say we go shell long a place, we shouldn't shell long. We go own up to it, yes. And then from own up to it now, then we can move forward. Me now go say, boy, you know, say your fault why this happen. No, not your fault. I mean, that sneak around and go on with me thing. I mean, that go on like say, you know, I mean, name Joe. I mean, that go on like I play the hide and seek thing. So me not say, oh, it can be you. You understand what I say? Because people need to understand that when a thing is conceived in the mind, you know, it's conceived because that's where it's first conceived, you know. The acting out of the thing belongs not just to the mind or to the spiritual realm. It belongs to the person. Because physically you got to take yourself and go do something. She took herself and she got do something. So me not say, oh, she got be in front of myself. If him the love him, I know. Me not really see that. I mean just find that was a cop out in order to push the thing in his direction so that you know at the end of the day you know that kind of challenge would take place. You know, I would hope though that over time that they would come to understand that the very nature of the relationship needs to be re-examined. Yes, and I would suggest to all the men on this line, and whilst I know Jamaican men might be you know polygamous to some degree, and I don't encourage that, but the fact of the matter is I want them to understand. So listen, when you're in a relationship, it's an exclusive relationship. And I'm going to use the Bible because the Bible is my foundation, right? This is one of the things I am doing. The Bible says this. It says that you are not your own. Yes? The Bible said the man is not his own, and the woman is not her own. That's why the two become one flesh. So when you get married to a woman, there's no more me, myself, and me, and you, yourself, and you. It is a us together. Yes? Because we have become one flesh. And therefore, the relationship from the scriptures, and not everybody believes in the Bible, but I tell you, so the principles are sound principles. The relationship in the scriptures are exclusive. And people might go to Old Testament. We can go back to Old Testament because we can explain it. Back in the day when there was no law, a man could have 3, 4 wives. As a matter of fact, he was a king, you could have more per wife. As long as you can mind them, you could have them. That means if you couldn't mind a wife, you couldn't have her. Yeah? So you had to be able to mind a wife. Worse, remember say you have to carry a door to go get your parents. 100 cow, 50 hog, 200 goat, quarter acre land, a wolf, I think. You understand me? If you couldn't mind her, you couldn't provide a thing, then you could not marry. So my thing is, when we are looking at our own relationship, you see them new configuration, we need to think about them long and hard and deep. You see these open things that we are now having, these open, flexible, fluid thing, we need to look at it very, very seriously. As a matter of fact, when if you're not start dating and not married yet, and I would suggest that if you find somebody who can be a partner, yes, your spouse of the opposite sex, my thing is simple. You need to ensure that you see the birth certificate. Because if you have transhuman, acceptance of transhumanism, and therefore persons can now present themselves as a man and do them as a woman, or cut out the thing and reconfigure the thing down there under reconstructive surgery. My thing is, if you find out that after the fact somebody might end up losing their life, so my thing is put everything on the table initially. Just be brutally frank and honest, and just be as open as you can in such a relationship, and then you move it from there to the next level. But please, I am suggesting to all the men, as I say, I understand the traditional and the historical and the cultural in terms of Jamaica, but the fact of the matter is this: do not get entangled or get engaged into any situation that do not give you exclusivity. Yes, it ends up being toxic. It ends up being wrong, and it breed all kind of other things that we're going to find hard to deal with. No matter what man wants about one relationship, no man that want knows our next man have sex with him wife. No man that want know that. You understand me? And even when him try to tough it up because he have a female one, no man that want know that. Even a man with 10 women, no one knows that them have sex with somebody else. And therefore, we need to look at that kind of thing that is being pushed as an accepted norm in the new paradigm that we call the society that we are now we're living in. Yes? So those are things that we need to look at. We need to also look at the fact that when we have certain traits, either coming from childhood, and I tell you, like some men put their mothers above everybody else. You might not agree with me, but again, I'm using the Bible as my principle. When you get married, yes, you love your mother to death, but when you get married, your wife become the primary female in your life. Your wife. It's the only thing the Bible says. The only reason you should leave your mother and father is to cleave to your wife. So your wife become the primary female in your life. Yes? So you leave and you cleave. Your mother grow you up nice, decent. She tell you how to do your thing and deal with your stuff. She tell you how to dress and how to smell good. She tell you what woman like and these things so you can fix up yourself. So you can go get your wife. When you get your wife, she become the primary person, the primary female in your life. Yes? And therefore, we work out that kind of relationships. Two, the woman who you need to love even more than anybody else is your wife. The Bible says you must love her like Christ of the church. And that is sacrificial. But the woman must also understand, and therefore you must have a woman who you can sit down and talk to, that one of the greatest things for a man is not even to say you love him, is to respect him. When you lose respect for a man, you lose everything. A man can live without love, but he can't live without respect. Listen, we can live without love, but we can't live without respect, because the primary emphasis for loving was given to us. Yes? But respect, she must honor and respect the husband. In so doing, she empowers him. In so doing, she builds up him every part time, in ego, he become confident in himself. Respect is what causes that. Respect is what drives that. And that is what we need to understand. And when we're looking at putting together family, starting relationship, those things must be primary. In the new dispensation, there's a me, I story. Yes? And we don't need nobody because we have money, and we don't need nobody because we have this, and we don't need nobody. That's why I stop listening to some of the music them where people are put out, Because it make it sound like, listen, A boy can go and call me have my money. A boy can this and that. No, me, no, disrespecting that. I say, no, me so disrespect me. Not even in my subconscious, me don't want to hear it. Yeah? Because if me start to accept that now, me gonna start to accept some stuff that does the feasible, some stuff that are gonna put me down, some stuff that are gonna press my spirit to the ground, some stuff that are gonna cause me to feel less of a man than I should be. Yes, I mean. And therefore it's important that we work through a process. Yes, I mean it's important that we have women who understand us and women who understand themselves. Yes? It's not an me story, because everything will become I and me and all this. No, no. No man is an island. No woman is an island by themselves. We must come together. We come together to make the thing work. And as I said about 2 weeks ago, what many persons don't understand is this, There is no such thing as independence. That is a word that the colonial people implant in us to make us believe that we can stand on our own. Yes? But the fact of the matter is, every country needs to be interdependent. That means what you don't produce, and next man produce it, you traded him. It is interdependence. And so it is even with relationships. Relationships are interdependent. You understand me? Men need women and women need men. Yes, so we need each other to make the thing work. We need each other to make the thing go forward. You understand me? And it's not a competition, because some persons have made it into a competition. Yes, but it's not a competition. No competition. You understand me? It is for us to work together to advance the interests of the species. Yes? So you advance the interests of the whole human race. That is what we do. And we do it in a loving, interdependent relationship, just like countries with countries, so it is with us, with our wives and our children. Yes, and therefore, so that's a word of encouragement. So that's how we need to. When we're looking forward to doing these things, those are some hard questions that we need to ask. If you have a girlfriend and she not respect you, if you have a girlfriend and she feels she can't say anything to you, and she will come and out to you, it means that you need to sit down and have a serious talk with her. And if the push comes to shove, that can't be a girlfriend. Because when you and I are married now, remember I said that's a deeper commitment. Yes? And you don't necessarily want to be in conflict all the time. Worse when other people are around, worse when you're out of road, worse when you're in some big function and people are treated in a particular way. And vice versa. So those are questions that we need to ask. Those are questions that we need to ask ourselves. And those are things that we need to ensure that we do, that we don't do, so that our relationships can be advanced. Yes? So believe me, interdependence is what we're about, not independence. Because no people tell them are independent girl and them are independent this and them have, but all them have is material wealth. Them have nothing else. If that's all that you have, then you have nothing. Because nobody has ever died. No man, no woman has ever died and carry what them have with them. As a matter of fact, before your body get cold, somebody might have poop in your pants and your underpants and versus them new. You understand me? And them must come and show up that. No for the thing that when you have and you hold as sacred thing and you hold it fast and say, no man, I love this and my prize possession. When you die, is no more prize possession. When you die, people fight for it and get it and sell it and move on. You understand me? Before the spirit can dry up on the lip of the pastor, them say ashes to ashes and dust to dust. That's the end of the story. And therefore, we need to understand what is happening. We need to understand that our part that we play in all that. Man is a provider, man is a priest, and man is a protector of him household. Yes, that's a three area that men operate in. And when it's a protector of your household, what happened in that forum to me was not a threat to the family. If it was not a threat to the family, and no man shouldn't stop no man. Yes, and if it was a white man up there, he wouldn't go up there to stop a white man, because that should have serious overtones, even worse repercussion than it have now. You understand me? So we want to understand ourselves too. And listen, people can't say anything. Really and truly, more to say anything. The bottom line is though, is how we deal with it. Sometimes we have words that trigger us. Men have some trigger words. If a man want to trigger him, tell about your mother. But when I tell about your mother, it's not a lie. It's a thing where every man do. Me don't have no man who never do that when a man tell a man about his mother. All of we do that. You understand me? And the fact of the matter is, And we're better off at breast milk and the breast milk. You understand me? And when we come out, we never vomit we out. Yeah? So we come out from the other end. So some people go and say it's a wicked thing. No. The man them want to talk about, we know make them feel shame. I said, but the brother, but that's a normal thing. And what you they do? Because me ask man that I really the man no answer for me. I say, oh, so what you they do then? Because yeah, me know every man, every picnic supposed to suck breast. And then Ray and so we turn it back for him now in my buck shuffle up and you understand me? But the fact of the matter is we need to understand how to deal with certain matters. And don't allow for toxic situations to cause us to do nothing more. As a matter of fact, there's a verse in Ecclesiastes. It says, do not let your mouth cause your flesh to sin. I don't remember exactly where, but we can Google it. You can Google it. Do not let your mouth cause your flesh to sin. Yes? And guess what? We must know over possess with self or over self-control is also a gift of the Spirit of God, And therefore we must know how to exercise self-control. Yes? In every situation and in every forum. So those are things that we need to learn going forward, and those are things we need to push going forward. We want to do a little one big up. A number of gentlemen have assisted in posting some stuff. For those who not working, who know people not working, there are jobs available, and we want you to at least have an application in. If you don't know how to do the application and resume, you can let us know. We can assist you with some of those things, and therefore we can put it together nicer for you so you can send out. Again, that Price Smart Portmore is recruiting people for their operations, and I want a number of persons to start, moving in direction. The thing might be not what you want right now, but guess what? It's as long as you can get that and be earning, it means that you can be earning and saving, you can be investing, you can be doing other stuff that will allow for um other things to happen. I mean, if you have money, you can do other things. Yes, you can save, invest, you can buy up a little stuff that you need to buy up. You can prepare for something next. As a matter of fact, you working and getting paid means that you can also go do the course you need to do in order to get the job where you need to get. So those things are there. We're posting those online, and we want you to be interested, want to look. If you're not working, please come online and just look at what is posted there. Anything you think you can do, anything you think you can move forward with, let us know. Anything you need assistance with, let us know so we can move the thing further and further into where we want to go. Now, we have set a certain deadline for the podcast, and we're going to do a second season. But which is one of the things we want to do. You see, at the end of this particular podcast, the season one, we want to have a summit, a men's summit, where we dress up nice and we go into a forum, and of course we have some power talks. Yes, so hopefully we can get some speaker, 2 or 3 top speakers who will basically talk to us about being men, talk to us about some of the things that we need to know, how to prepare ourselves for certain things, how to dress for a certain job, that kind of things. We want them to share with us their wisdom. Yes, born out of their own experience, so that we can be able to man up and to ensure that at the end of the day, we are doing what we need to do, and that we get the kind of result that we need to get. So we're looking at we haven't yet set the date for that, but we have been having the discussion, and we're kind of looking for some speakers. This lighting is poor. We're kind of looking for some speakers to assist in those areas. So we're going to have that in June. So we're going to have the discussion further. Because we want some powerful speakers. We want some powerful voice, men of worth, and men who will be able to share from the depths of their experience, and build the next generation. Because that's what we're about. At the end of the day, it's about building the next generation. Yes. And I'm sorry that Thespian is not online. I wish Thespian was online, because I think Thespian have a whole lot to share too. He's there right now, but he's not on the live. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, we're going to push forward and we're going to push on. So those are things that we're looking at. So we're looking at the summit in June. We do have 2 projects, and the 2 projects are there's a basic school that needs some paint, need a paint job, and I think we can do that. All we have to do is provide is our strength, yes, and our input or intellectual input. Um, The school will provide the paint and the paintbrush and all the materials. We just have to show up and deal with it. I've asked them to send us a proposal, and as soon as them send us a proposal, then we'll work out the time that we'll go forth and do this. The bottom line, the people say, listen, them really don't care. If you come and fix it for them, we can put our name on the wall, we can put our logo on the wall, we can put whatever on the wall, we can big up ourselves. The fact of the matter is we would have done something worthwhile, and it would have been bigger than us, the cave. Yes? We want men to do things that are bigger than themselves, bigger than your little space. So we want to look forward in doing those things. Yes. All right, test drive. We see it. Yeah. So we want those things to happen, and we do have good people with good heart. We do have men of courage and men of wisdom and serious insight, and therefore we want to work with those. We have a second thing as well, because there is also an old gentleman who has he lives in what we call a Watland Dab house. We showed the house recently, and we're going to put up quickly again, um, just to give an idea uh, of what the house look like. And we're in the process of rebuilding even a two-room for him, two-room in a bathroom and so on. We're looking at the foundation is being worked out now, so we're kind of digging a new foundation for him. Um, there are some stuff there. We're looking at gravel and steel and sand is there. Well, the steels are already bent, fixed, so they just put them in the ground when the foundation is the completely dug out, and then we can work from there. And I would like for us to go there just to give a helping hand. We might not be able to do much in terms of technical, but if we're working a carp, if we're working with a mason, we can always carry some block to make some mortar. We can always fill up some block pockets, yes, and make it happen. The bottom line at the end of the day, it will be our project. It will be a project that we will have participated in, and we'll have at least assist one person, and in this case, an older brother who's more like a daddy to us. Because I know he's about 70 at the year old. He's about 70, probably closer to 80. But we would have helped somebody who is not a burden on society, because he still does little farming, does some subsistent farming, and therefore he doing thing. So there are times when him have some chocha being sold, and him having pineapple being sold, and so on. Still working field early man, 4:30 man him go out and work in field. It's just that they don't bring in sufficient for him to say, okay, I'm going to build a house. Just one shot. And therefore we have to be doing piecemeal. So blocks are there, steel there, materials there, the foundation now where some people commit to dig the foundation, and then we're going to set those steels in place. Hire a mason, and then we can start working from there. So the mason works, so we work. So the mason work, so we can at least assist in getting the thing up to a certain level, a certain standard. Yes, and we would have put our 2 cent work in it, which is what men should do, helping to build men, helping to build the family, helping to build community, and helping to build each other. So we have those. So we want to know, because we had put it out and asked whether or not we want to um, do one project or we want to do two projects. A number of persons say we can do the two projects, and I think we should take on the two projects. As I say, the building of the structure is not a full 100 project, but we will do our part in that we can I say pass some blocks, mix some mortar, pull up some block pockets. We can do that, and we will have helped our brother, to be good. We get asked our tech to put up a picture of the house where it's in at, so we understand the depth of the thing. You understand me? Tech, so we can find that picture for me. It is in a precarious position, and to be quite frank, I think it's probably more dangerous if he stay at house. It will be dangerous for him, because I think that house can collapse. Walls can collapse at any time. It's old technique we used to use on build houses. So you know how long it is. Watland is an old technique, old technique. We use bamboo and mortar to build the wall. So you plat it and you flash on the mortar and you dress it. Yes. But over time, the bamboo is not like steel. and therefore the strength, yes, of the bamboo um, goes worse if you have termites around. It goes quicker, and then at the end of the day, you're left just with the mortar. And if that crack, which in our case I think it is cracked, then so we're in even more trouble. If rainfall, the possibility that it might collapse. So we can do our part, and we want to do our part to make it, to make someone's life a little easier. Outside that though, next week hopefully we're going to look at I think the picture coming up now. We're going to look at a new era. That's what the house look like right now. Yeah, not much of a house, but we want to ensure that at the end of the day we can improve his life. We can improve this thing. And I tell you, I will take it from this end because at the other side, the wall is actually cracking out. So we have to brace it with some boards. So it basically we brace by the wall towards the house so that it doesn't fall out. So it is yeah, it's kind of a sad situation, but we're going to work. We're going to work through it, and we're going to make it happen. Yes, we're going to make it happen. We need improvement where that is concerned, and we can help. I said we're not masons, but when the masons do work, we can fill up some black pockets because we want to build him a nice little concrete structure, 2 room, bathroom, and so we can have a comfortable space at least to sleep and to eat and so on, and then we can take it from there. But we want for that to happen. He's a good man. He's a very good man. Yes, he's a man who share what he has as well, and therefore I don't think we need to leave him in a situation like that. If we can help, we can help. The 500 blocks was dropped recently on the spot, and I think a ton of steel there, but we had started to bend the steel to do what we need to do in terms of the foundation and so on. So those are also ready. Material, aggregate, and so on is to be dropped. I need to call to confirm whether or not it's there, then we can take it from there. One by one, row by row, we can improve our life. Yes? When we finish that, we bust a bottle of wine and we celebrate with him and we celebrate together as men. Yes? Because we have done some things. That's what men do. Men build nations. Men build nations. Men build family. Men build government. Men build country. That's what men do. And that's what we need to continue doing. It's a good thing. It's a wonderful thing. I want to also mention something. No, and it's a sad. It's part of the sad part of what we do as men. Yes, because we have to mention some things. No, most of you probably don't know Tabby, right? But for us who used to listen to music from a long time, you know what I mean? Alton Ellis and the whole them man that come straight up back, you know what I mean? Dennis Emmanuel Brown, enough people know that Dennis used to live at Duane Park. Dennis used to live in Duane Park. His father had a house in Patrick City. And he was down here most of the time. Sly Dunbar was here most of the time as well. Sly Dunbar used to live on Ballin Crescent. Um, not cross from Dennis, but he was on the other side of the road. People like Michael Rose, you know what I mean? And them man they said they are enough. So in terms of the foundation members of reggae music, we know them. Them know we. As boy, we used to play screen from the road and them used to come in and do them thing. Now, Tabby of the Mighty Diamond. Mighty Diamond themselves was smooth like a silky razor, you know what I mean? And an old man like that, foundation member of the reggae fraternity, snuffed out. Carelessly snuffed out. Yes? And it's a sad thing because I said to myself, it seems when women die, there's a big outcry. It's a 9-day wonder, but it's a big outcry. When children die, it's a big outcry. It's a 9-day wonder too. When men die, it seems to go silently. Yes? A few people might say it because the persons of the fraternity will say it, but outside that, nobody not say it. But these are men who would not have participated in any of the arms race that is happening right now. And to have some icons like that being snuffed out, it kind of hurt. You know what I mean? It's kind of hurt. So we can celebrate with them. You know what I mean? So they're dying naturally because they're older folks and they're getting older in the process. Yes. Um, but outside of that, we are We're losing them to foolishness. No, and I tell you why I mention it. You see, all of us on this line, I don't want to lose none of we. I don't want none of us lose our lives to foolishness. And I tell people all the time, the man who is afraid is a man who will live long enough. You have a time you should be afraid, not afraid of people, but you're afraid of situations. So you do avoid situations. Yes? So let me take the opportunity to give you a charge today. If in the event you are in a place where guns are being fired and war rates are being discharged, my thing to you is simply take yourself away quickly. Yes? Yeah, man. Live to see another day. Just take away yourself. No matter what some people want to say. Like some people say, man, come and mess a long time, long time. No, take away yourself. Yes? Because when me call him, I go ask you if you're safe in them. I say, yo, brother, what? When me safe, man, me take on myself. Me want you to take away yourself. We want us to avoid some situation now because some people just trigger happy. They must trigger happy. Like, you have some trigger very, very sensitive, You blow upon them and they go off. You understand me? We want you to take yourself out of a situation like that. I don't want us to be not like that. Yes? And that's a part of the process. That's a part of the thing where we need to do. Why? Your family need you. You know what family now no father? Some that remember I said we have bad fathers, We have some father that drink and smoke and them not there more time, them up and down. Some used to abuse it too. And because of old age them die. But the bottom line is when you grew up without a father, there's a significant loss there. There's the information that you have gotten from your father. Just seeing him operate, I just talk with him and share with him. Believe me, it's lost forever. You're gonna find a good uncle now who will share it upon them levels there. Yes? So my thing is, none of you upon this live and none of you upon this forum, I don't want none of you losing life away. We want them to stay safe. We want them to stay safe for the children. You have sons, you have daughters, and they're looking up to you to at least impart something into them, to impart something worthwhile into them so that their life can be better. Me no want a fool boy. I know eat that, half eat that, grab a yeah, me no want that for you guys. So we want them to remain safe and therefore we can continue to build families. As a matter of fact, over time we want to influence some of those persons too. The ideal is we don't want to have a conversation with them even now and again to say, listen, we can do a better thing. There's a better way. There is a better way to do this. And therefore we can work on that better way together to make life better for everybody. And that is even part of the thing that I want to come out of the Man Cave. Because we want, at the end of the day, we want to be able to mentor some people, yes, and share with some people. They might not have the same idea like us, because new paradigm, new dispensation. But I want for us to at least be able to say to these people, there's a different way, there's a better way. This is how you can do it. Yes. I don't just want you to, I want you to be able to do that. So that's supposed to come out of our summit. And the summit is going to be a great summit. I don't want anything in light. We're going to have some people who've come to give it some power talk, and those talks, you have to carry a notebook and your pen and your paper to make those notations. Because at the end of the day, we want great men. We want men, great men. Yes? There's something that I want to share with you quickly too, and never discuss it with the host and the other persons. But I want to put it out there because I want to start thinking about it. The world has changed significantly. The world has changed significantly. Some of us like to work from a place, but the world has changed significantly. The Corona-19 virus, or whatever they want to call it, yes, they have changed how we do business. Everybody on the live and on the line need to learn how to make money over the internet. So it means that you might have to put together a package, just to put together a teaching package. Some person can teach people to do some stuff. It is worth something in the virtual space. Yes, we have a whole lot of courses running now in the virtual space, and there's money to be had as a result of it. So I want, and because when it's up, when you do it and it's up, and persons pay to access it, basically it means that there's a residual income to you. So I want you to learn to earn money in the virtual space. Myself, I've done some research, and we're about to kickstart some stuff, and that's what we're going to do. We have asked another friend, who this is what they do, yes, to provide us with some teaching time, because I want them to come on like now and say, okay, we're going to teach you to do X, Y, Z, and therefore we can take the notice and go on our laptops and do what we need to do. So we have been looking at that, and we are trying to work. We are now trying to work out a time where we can actually calling you guys in a week or 2 weeks. We just do it consecutively. So we teach how to some techniques and how to make money over the internet. Yes. Some persons are very good at affiliate marketing. So we have asked some persons where that is concerned, how we can basically, you know, learn the affiliate marketing system so that we too can do some affiliate marketing. There are a number of things we can do better. So what we need to do now is start to arm ourselves with the tools of the trade. Yeah, if you have a digital camera, that is good. If you have a laptop and things, that's good. Even if you have a desktop, as long as you have peripherals, so we can have the interaction and talk, that is good. You have the internet connection, that is good. And then we can now move the thing forward, because we need to start earning significantly. And I'm not into the whole prosperity talk, We need to earn so that we can live, and we need to earn so when we reach retirement age, we have sufficient money that we can basically not scrape the bottom of the barrel and eat cat food. Yeah, there's some people have oversaw that them basically them just at the bottom of the pile. Them eat cat food. I don't want us to eat cat food. The Jamaican people don't really eat cat food still, but yeah. So what I need for us to do is to be able to earn and have residual income. And that's what I'm saying. You know the way the paradigm is now. Look at this. Some people might say $1,000 for the month is a little bit of money, right? But $1,000 American dollars to the month, is $155,000. If you can make 3,000 US dollars for the month, you're looking at $450,000. Not for when I get $450,000 a month. Whereas if you go work government, not happening. So my thing is, if you can earn that, if we can start earning at least that, you know what thing we can get done with that? You know what people can be blessed from our pockets with that? You know what people can look at and say, okay, we're gonna do certain things here, we're gonna set up this is the house where we are trying to put together. It will be a simple maths. Even if we can't go there, we can say, so we're gonna pay 2 months to come shell on the thing. The mates are gonna charge what, $10,000 for a day's work, and we make sure say put in the loop on the work and just shell out the black them. We just go up on the side, they full of pocket and just come again, boom, window up to the decking. Then we just bring it. Yeah, we can help. The amount of things that we need in terms of even our own personal family and space, it can work. And therefore, I said to people, you say, if don't think craven, but think incremental. And if you think incremental and we can do this, you will be surprised. As a matter of fact, we're not going to be surprised because we are going there specifically, deliberately to make some money. And we are going there specifically and deliberately to improve our life and the lives of the people around us. And that is what I want us to look at. As I said, we're just trying to work out some logistics and we're trying to work out some resource persons. And when those things are worked out, we'll invite you all to not just a summit, but to a training which we will learn how to do all of these things. There are a number of areas. Right now you can type. If you can type fast, you can make money typing online. Yes. If you're not working right now, but you're good at organizing, their personal assistance job on the internet, 650 US a week to 800 US a week. Just to make sure so you remind people so them have them appointment and this and that and yada 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 yada. And if you can do that, that is automatic. Yes. We have now embraced the cryptocurrency. Yes. And now, Bank of Jamaica run out their thing. My thing is to, if you are adventurous and if you are willing to invest, you should consider learning about that area too, so that you can make some money out of it. The early adopters usually make the most out of it before, other people start to step onto the platform. So my thing is, we need to learn to do all of these things. Yes, we need to learn to do all of these things so that we can work the thing forward and move the thing forward. So training, we have Men Summit coming up. We have projects coming up. And I said we have a training program that we want to put in place, and that's coming up. And that is to teach you That's to help us to understand how to make money online. Yes, and that's what the things we want to do, so that our lot and life can be better. You understand me? Who knows? We might have a next summit, and next summit we might have just rent out part of Half Moon Hotel and just go up there go have the summit. Whole family, let's get the whole family, because we can do it that way. You know what I mean? Whatever thing that we do, man. Yeah, man. So we can make the thing work for us. You know. We see Mr. Ferran online. We just want to big up Mr. Ferran. I get that our goodly brother Jermaine has been working very hard. I know he has sent out all the links. I know the barbershop man them, love the man talk, 'cause we are talk the real things. And therefore we just want to welcome Mr. Ferran online. Bless you, Mr. Ferran. I think it's your first time. It's your first time. Not here, you're mute. It's
Sure,
unmute the button.
thank you. My
Yeah,
first
man.
time. Thank you.
All right. Welcome, my good sir. Welcome. The man
Thank
talk
you.
is where we talk about a number of things related to man. All the issues related to men, mental health, sexual health, physical health, financial health, everything about man, that's what we talk about. And we share information that we think can help to build men, so that we become better at what we do. We do believe that our position, as God created, was that of provider, protector, and priest over our household. So we guide the spiritual trajectory of our household. We also provide protection for our household, and we also provide for our household, being men, the head of the household. And therefore, we just want to, we just want to thank God for that kind of focus, that kind of, concrete positioning that He has placed us. We know some men not be able to do all of that one time, because we're struggling. Some of us struggling in terms of working, trying to put together our lives and so on. But nevertheless, we are here to provide them with the resources, our collective wisdom, because it don't reside us in one person, but our collective wisdom can help to build some people and mentor them into greater men. We want to build leaders. We want to build leaders. We want to build them. Yes, the followers is good, but we want to build leaders. And at the end of the day, we want every person who would have passed through the man cave, when they step out, they must know that there's a difference. They must know that this is a man, real man, by every definition of the word. This is a man. Yes, not just by species or by gender, but it's a man in terms of his responsibility, in terms of take charge, in terms of how him look at his family, how him treat with those things. That's what we want. That's what we're looking for to accomplish. Yes. So we have been on the live. We have spoken about a number of things. We have spoken about relationships, how you start relationships, and how you progress through the relationship. The things you look for, the things you ask for, the things you are very open about, and so on and so forth. We don't want to be in a more toxic relationship. Yes, there are some people toxic, and we are saying to the men, no more toxic relationship, no more drama. Yes, the only drama we need is to go watch a play. Yes, yes. So if we watch a good play, we're all right. You know what I mean? We laugh, we family enjoy it, everybody enjoy it. So that's the type of thing we're doing here on the cave, and we just want to continue doing that. We have some wonderful people. We just want big shout out. Again, we have two Philip Williams on the line, so I want to big them up. You know, of course, we have two Orias on the line, me being one, and another Orias, you know what I mean, aspiring thespian. That's a good you too, my namesake and so on. Full of ideas, and a man who is super talented, super talented. So anybody who think they want to put together like a company to produce some plays, listen, super talented. I tell you. Of course, you have my spiritual brother and bona fide, Jeremy and Bailey is on the line. Then we have people like Paul on the line. Not even sure if I'm on today, because sometimes when I'm trying to get on, it carry him to YouTube. Paul Clark on the line, and a number of other persons. We just want to thank you for being here on the cave. We want to thank you for sharing too, because we have been doing this for a little while, and apparently persons are feeling good about what we are doing, and they're basically encouraging us to go further. One man actually said to me, he said, listen, he wants us to go international. And I'm not sure how we're going to do that, but the bottom line, if it happens, we'll be here for the long haul. So I just want to say good evening, gentlemen. It's good to have you. It's good to have you on the cave. You can always watch the previous episodes on YouTube. and you will see the thing that we are talking about. And of course, next week you can come, and if you want to share, we'll give you a form to share your thoughts, as we share our thoughts on some of the issues going around. Stay away from toxic relationships, please, 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 and build strong family. Men, we are the foundation, and we are the fathers, and therefore we must ensure that at the end of the day, we are a provider, we are a protector, but most importantly, we are a priest over our household, and that's what we are about to do. Fix it good. Good evening, blessed love. You have been watching Man Cave. And before we close, I think we might have a winner. We're looking at somebody who's leading significantly, and therefore you will be seeing him in his merchandise shortly, because he would have earned it. I'm not going to call on him.
Marriage is not a word, it is a sentence, a life sentence. Marriage is love, love is blind, therefore it is an institution for the blind. It is an institution in which a man loses his bachelor's degree and a woman gets her master's.
Oh my God.
Marriage is a 3-ring circus: engagement ring, wedding ring, and suffering. Hey! Getting married is much like going to a restaurant with friends. You order what you want, and when you see what the other person has, you wish you had ordered that one instead.
How fast do we hear of this?
Marriage is when a man and a woman becomes one. The trouble starts when they try to decide which one. Hey!